is FYI on your TV, brought to you by Hometown News. I'm Kathy Botham, and we're doing this one by Zoom. My co-host, Robbie Hull. Thanks, Rob.
You're very right now, Kathy.
Well, you've had a busy morning. You were here in the studio earlier this morning, and you got soaking wet getting
here. In the pouring rain.
In the pouring rain, yes, that's right. Yes, you're dedicated. You're dedicated. So now you're at home joining us by Zoom, too, and we're talking about something that's near and dear to both of us, our Special Olympics. So I'm going to pass it over to you, and you can introduce your guest.
Hi, Jeff. I am happy to talk to you today because Jeff is at Special Olympics Ontario. Special Olympics is known all over the world too. I am a Special Olympic athlete too in Smith Falls.
Hi, Robbie. Thanks for having me on today.
What do you do at Special Olympics Ontario?
Yeah, well, I started by coaching soccer a few years ago. And so I coach soccer in the summer, and I coach indoor soccer in the winter. And then, I loved it so much that I started doing a few other things, and I joined the Ottawa Community Council as the social media lead. So I do all of our Facebook and Instagram posts and LinkedIn as well. And then last fall, when I left my full-time job, I took on the volunteer coordinator position with Special Olympics Ottawa. So I'm, sourcing new volunteers, I'm onboarding them, and then I'm, filling the gaps that we have on all of our sports programs when we need coaches, assistant coaches, managers, and for events as well. So there's, these programs are all volunteer run, and we really need a lot of help to keep them going.
Where do you work?
Well,
and where in office?
Yeah, as a volunteer organization, we don't have an office here in Ottawa. So I do my social media and volunteer coordinator work from home. For soccer, it's I coach not too far here from where I live in the Alta Vista area, and so that's pretty convenient for me coaching the Central Ottawa soccer.
How long have you been with Special Olympics?
I've been with Special Olympics Ottawa for 5 years now. I started coaching soccer just, after the pandemic started to ease up and we could get back to our sports. I used to coach both of my daughters with the Ottawa International Soccer Club. And when they outgrew that, I was really missing coaching. And I didn't know too much about Special Olympics when I first started. So I started helping out with the soccer team and really grew to love the, the athletes and the community around Special Olympics. And so I was hooked from that first year, and I'm still going strong.
Can you tell everyone what Special Olympics is?
Right. Yeah. Well, Special Olympics is a global movement, really dedicated to enriching the lives of people with intellectual disabilities through the power of sport. So, here in Ottawa, we provide, we have 25 different sports that we run through all through the year. We've got, well over 400 athletes participating in these sports. Sports like, that I know you love as well, like bocce, for example, is one of our really popular programs. We have a lot of team sports, a lot of individual sports. Our athletes compete, our athletes attend program on a weekly basis, and then some of them progress to competing, whether that's at local, provincial, national, or in some cases at the world level.
Why did you choose to work at Special Olympics?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, I was just looking for a coaching opportunity. I sort of missed coaching soccer, and a friend of mine was talking about needing some help with Special Olympics soccer. And I went home and I Googled what Special Olympics was, and I thought, okay, I can help with this. And as soon as I started working with with the athletes, I realized how much I loved it and how much, joy a volunteer can get from working with Special Olympics athletes. So from that moment on, I was hooked on coaching Special Olympics, and I just want to keep going for as long as I can.
What are some of your favorite memories or stories to share about Special Olympics?
I have so many great memories just from these 5 years. I think I look back to last summer when we brought a couple teams to a soccer tournament in Perth, and we just had such a great day. It was a pretty hot day last summer, but the tournament organizers compressed the schedule a little bit, so we weren't working too hard in the heat of the day. But we had such a great time playing against some of the teams from your communities, and it was just so great to see so many athletes out enjoying sport, having fun, and doing their best. So that's one of my favorite memories. I think the other favorite memory I have is our athlete and volunteer banquet that we do every year. And when I'm describing it to people, I say it's all about French fries and dancing. So we have a great meal, and then the lights go off and the DJ turns up the music, and everybody gets on that dance floor and doesn't leave it for 2 hours. So those are some of my favorite memories. And we have our banquet, our 2026 banquets, coming up on May 1st. So I'm looking forward to more French fries and more dancing on May 1st.
I play basketball in the summer, and I ball in the winter time. I have many plans for Special Olympics. We do tour booth, and we have a big golf tournament with our officers in the summer. You for being part of Special Olympics. Kathy is going to talk to you more about bringing pickleball to our area. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Robbie. It's great to speak with you.
Thanks, Robbie. Jeff, I learned that you were trying to get pickleball team started, a Special Olympics pickleball team started in our Kemptville area as well, too. So let's talk about that a little bit, because you're going to need some athletes, you're going to need some volunteers.
Yeah, exactly. So last year was our first year having a pickleball program in Ottawa, and we ran it last summer at the RA Center. And it was really successful. And so this year we thought, why don't we try and expand that program? We had two wonderful coaches from the Kemptville area making the drive into the RA Center last year. And so this year they're going to help us set up a program in Kemptville. And, we're looking for athletes to sign up for that program, and registration is going to be available for that starting on April 1st and run through the month of April. And we're still looking for some volunteers to help out. Like I said, we've got two great head coaches, and pickleball volunteers, they don't need to be pickleball experts necessarily. We've got lots of pickleball skill, but just like I'm sure Robbie's coaches in bowling and golfing and bocce, we want people that are enthusiastic and patient and love sport and are very social. So those are the kinds of folks that we're looking for to help us with our pickleball program.
Now, I understand, too, you already have a location. It's going to be at our curling club.
That's right, the North Grenville Curling Club, and it's got 5 courts set up for us. So we'll see how many athletes we get. With 5 courts, that could be up to 20 athletes at a time playing, and maybe we'd have a few more in the program. So that's a really great venue for us.
All right, and how many coaches would you need?
Yeah, well, typically we do have a coach to athlete ratio that's different for each sport. So with soccer that I coach, it's a 5-to-1 ratio. And I like to exceed that ratio and have more coaches available for athletes that need a little more one-on-one attention, because we do get a wide variety of capabilities in our athletes. And for pickleball, I will be starting at a 5-to-1 ratio. And so we need at least 4 volunteers. which I don't think will be too hard to get. But we like to have a few more. Of course, in the summer months, people go on vacation. And as I said, it's nice to have a few more volunteers available for some of those athletes that maybe need a little more help in learning the skills of pickleball.
All right, so you like you say too, I think you said that you have two coaches already that live in the Kemptville area, but they've been going into Ottawa.
That's right. That's what they did last year. So I think so this year they were instrumental in getting this program set up in the Kemptville area, and we're really excited to offer it there. It's a bit of kind of growing the reach of the Ottawa programs as well. So
absolutely, absolutely. Now you said registration starts on April 1st. How do people register for this?
Yeah, we want people to register online. And so I think the easiest way to just tell folks here is if you Google Special Olympics Ottawa, you'll find our website, our programs, our registration links. It is ottawa.specialolympicsontario.ca. But like I said, if you Google it, that'll get you there.
Excellent, excellent. I got one more question for you. Special Olympics donuts were sold at Tim Hortons from January 30th to February 1st. How many did you eat?
I ate a lot.
Yes.
And I put my proof up on Facebook. If anyone wants to follow the Special Olympics Ottawa Facebook, you'll find a picture of me wearing this very same sweatshirt and having one of those delicious donuts. So everyone in my family loves them, and it's a great weekend. It's a great fundraiser for Special Olympics
Absolutely,
Ontario.
absolutely. Yeah. Robbie and I had at least one a day, eh, Rob?
Yeah, right across the street from our work.
Oh, that's right. Yes, right across the street from our work. You know what? And if I could do a little shout out for Robbie, what happened yesterday? Apparently there was a medical emergency at our Tim Hortons yesterday here in Smith Falls.
Right across, right out the door.
Right across the street from our studio. I can see the Tim Hortons right now.
Right by the studio.
Oh, and Robbie was able to tell them what the address was because he volunteers here. So he was able to help them out and tell them how to get there, eh, Rob? Good work.
Yes.
Good work.
Excellent.
Good work. All right. Well, Jeff, how do people get a hold of you? You are the communications lead for Special Olympics Ottawa, too. How do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, there's a few ways. And so I think, if you find us on Facebook or Instagram, Special Olympics Ottawa, then you can comment on one of the posts or you can direct message me. I'm also available via email. And for volunteers, I recommend they email me at volunteer_COORD at specialolympics.ottawa.ca. It's a pretty long email address, so that's why I usually give the social media links first. And again, if you just sort of do a search on Special Olympics Ottawa, you'll find us, and you can message me there, and I'd be happy to help folks through the volunteer onboarding process. I'd be happy to share registration links with athletes and or anyone that has any questions about Special Olympics.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for taking the time today to speak to us about Special Olympics and for taking the time to spend with our Special Olympic athletes too. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you both.
Jeff Dunning.
I really enjoyed myself. Thank you.